remembering the early days in Gwangju, how did you feel? For Koreans here, imagine that you flew to another country which is totally new to you, then how would you feel? You would feel excited, but at the same time, anxiety would overwhelm you. Because you lack of information here, have no network, and have culture shock about the difference. That's why GIC exists, to support the visitors and to be a bridge between the visitors and the locals. Functioning the same role as the GIC, here is the Gwangju blog. Gwangju blog contains lots of information about Gwangju. So today's speaker, Michael Simning, he's going to tell us about more details about the Gwangju blog here. So give him a big hand.
First of all, I'm just getting over a cold, so I might have difficulty talking. Okay? Perfect. And also, I used to be a teacher, and I think everybody's too spread out. Can you move up a bit? Please? Everybody just move up a little bit. Thank you very much. Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to take this off. How many of you know Gwangju blog? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, several people. Okay. How many of you read Gwangju blog regularly? Just some people do, some people don't. Okay. Now, sorry, your name? Yes.
Jacob.
Jacob. Now, how did you find Gwangju blog?
Just through the foreigner community.
Mm-hmm. So in what ways have you used the blog?
I guess just finding events. If if I don't have any plans, I want to find events that will enrich my experience.
Right. Okay, so you would say maybe once a week you check out and look for events and things that can help you?
Yeah, a couple of times a month.
A couple times a month?
More so, I guess, when I first got here.
Right. Okay.
Now, because now I know more people, so I might hear about events from them directly.
Okay. So it was a useful resource for you when you first came here?
More, yeah.
Okay. So Gwangju blog has been running for about 3 years. It started in the spring of 2000. What year is it now? 2009. Is that correct?
2010.
2010? I've been out of the loop so long I don't even know what year it is. So at that point, Gwangju blog was connected with City Hall. Still is connected with City Hall. And what Gwangju blog does, what Gwangju blog was, its original purpose, was to showcase what Gwangju had. Now that's great. Gwangju's got a lot to offer. But the thing is we quickly realized that there was more that Gwangju blog could do than just show art or just show food. You know, there was a lot more out there within the city and within the communities that we could show people. And as a result, and especially with Huey's help, Huey was a big help, Gwangju blog kind of morphed and became something that was about showing Koreans what Gwangju's foreign community had, and it also had what Gwangju had to show foreigners as well. So we've really kind of changed the focus. Thing is now we want to move. We want to change even more. Excuse me. Now, Gwangju blog, as we said, it's been around for a couple of years. Yes, you're right, 2010. Gwangju blog's been around for a couple of years, and now it's time for us to take it further. At this point, Gwangju blog is going to be undergoing some changes. We've been expecting changes for quite some time, but bureaucracy, there's always difficulties. And this is what we're going to be working on over the next few months, next few weeks, I guess. Now, the Gwangju blog is while it is about sharing information, there's a problem. Not really a problem. There's different expectations. Culturally, the two, we have a Western idea, we also have a Korean idea. We have two cultures working against each other to try and promote the blog. Now, the blog, excuse me, holy shit. It's just difficult breathing. So if you look at Korean blogs, we often see many, many short, very, you want to say flowery, or very kind of poetic posts. Very short and many. You'll see maybe 10, 15 in one day. Now, Gwangju blog, we try to have more informative posts done once a day, twice a day. So it's quite a bit different from the Korean side and the Western side at this point. But we want to be able to work within this and have both systems working. We want to have a Korean blog, we want to have a Western blog, but we want them to work together as opposed to being opposed, opposite, right?
So I'll also just give a little bit of information about the blog. I used to be involved with Gwangju blog. So for people who don't know, there's a website, gwangjublog.com. And if you go to this website, especially, this is what Michael is talking about. And like he said, some people maybe are more familiar with this blog compared with others. And it was created to help put some information for people to find out more about Gwangju. But as Michael said, as time went by, the blog changed a lot. And also many Korean people like to use this blog also to learn about Korea, to learn about, or not to learn about Korea, but to learn about Gwangju, and to learn about what some foreign residents are doing in Gwangju. So it's a really interesting project. Actually, it brings together different people who are learning many different things. And similarly, do you know the Gwangju Foreign Language Network, the radio station? Yeah, so the radio station is a similar project that has the goal of connecting together the two sides of Gwangju, the Korean residents and the foreign residents, and same with the GIC. So these are some really valuable tools to share information. And same Gwangju News, I think, is another big important part of the community. So as Michael says too, as time goes by, there are getting to be more and more changes. And the goals are changing. Because when the blog first started 2 years ago, it was a simple goal, just to kind of start and share some information especially. But as time goes by, there's a goal to have more specific kinds of information and to get more kinds of involvement together. Yeah.
Thanks, you. No, it's very.
And the reason I'm also talking about it, I should say, is that I used to write articles regularly for Gwangju blog. So Michael is a Gwangju blog expert. He knows much more than me, but I also used to help with this blog. So I also know some information. So I will be his backup today.
Right. Now, all of our contributors are presently, well, foreign residents here in Gwangju. But I would like to get more Koreans involved. Unfortunately, I think a lot of Koreans get very intimidated by the fact that it's all English. I would like to see people, not be afraid to join in, to try to write in English. Because we have people that will edit, we have people that will look at what has been written, and will make the changes that need to be made. We also, hang on. We also do need more writers in English. We need more foreign writers because this is the time of year when we have a big change. This is February right now. We all know, oh, cell phones. As we know, like Huey is leaving this week. And that's quite common. Everybody will be leaving at the end of February, and we're going to be left with very few writers. So if you want to get involved, it's very easy. You can go to gwangjublog.com, and you can also contact us through gwangjublog@hotmail.com. Very easy, but we'll figure that out later. We'll write that down for you. Anyways.
So, one question
Yes.
already.
Okay.
What kind of articles can people contribute? Like about what topics, if you are looking for something?
Well, generally, Huey, we like to try and keep it a bit Gwangju specific. I mean, there are articles about things that are happening all over Korea, but we try to keep it with a focus on Gwangju. I mean, we can write. There's blogs all over the country that focus on each and every city, and some of them don't. I mean, they focus on the entire country, whereas we just try to focus mostly on Gwangju.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And what are some of the most popular or most common features on the blog? Like what kind of stories do people like to read?
Okay, on the blog, actually, most people, they really like to talk about food. The food questions, or not questions, food stories are actually very, very popular. Especially with our Korean readers. Koreans really are very excited to learn about new restaurants, new foods, new things like that. As are, I guess, foreign residents as well.
Right.
Yeah, but for some reason, food is especially popular with Koreans.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Also, what portion of visitors to the blog are foreign? Which portion are Korean?
Okay, that's difficult to gauge because we don't know, because so many people use Korean computers. We don't know who exactly the numbers. But I would say probably about 70%, from what I've seen, 70% are foreigners.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So here's a question that I'm going to answer to get Michael
Thank
ready.
you.
So the question is, how do most people find out about Gwangju blog, and how can you get more people reading the blog? So I think the good thing about Gwangju blog is that the website address is very easy to remember, gwangjublog.com. So you can visit this website anytime you want, and always on the website, the stories are updated. So you'll always see new information, new stories. And I think one way that you can get more people reading it, or that we can get more people reading it, is by telling our friends, and especially new people who come to Gwangju, just to give them some advice that if they want to find out more about what's happening, that this is a good place to check. Like I mentioned, GFN is a really good radio station to listen to for information about what's happening. Also, when you visit the GIC, you can learn so much about things that are happening here too. And Gwangju blog. So I think the good goal is when they can all complement each other. So say in Gwangju News is a print version, the Gwangju News website, now Gwangju News Online is getting more and more focused. So that also is good with the...
Right. We should mention though that already GFN and the GIC and Gwangju Blog do work quite well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they do, I think, to give as much information to people as possible.
Right. Okay.
And another question is, so you've also worked at GFN,
Yes, I have.
and so what's your favorite part about being involved at GFN? Or similarly with Gwangju Blog, what's your favorite, what do you like best about being involved?
Well, of course, the boss. She's GFN and Gwangju Blog, I like the fact that we're giving out information. You know, we're not just kind of, how can I say, we're actually giving something to people that need it, right? We're giving people who are trying to find a way to make their life in Gwangju better. You know, we're giving them that help instead of, you know, just taking from them, instead of just being an English teacher. Right. So I mean, that's the part that I really like is the fact that we're helping people.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's a final question for today. If you've got any questions afterwards, you can approach me or Mike or somebody else on the Gwangju Blog team. So the final question is, especially for the Korean citizens, how can they get involved?
Okay. Once again, there was a whiteboard here before. Yeah.
After the talk, we'll put up the website
The website
and an email
email
address,
address.
so you can see it.
Right. So you can register on the blog. There's some issues with that right now, but you can register online, and then you can also send an email, just a very simple email saying you want to help, and we'll contact you, and we'll see where we can use you. Okay. Anything else you need? Sorry.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm really sorry that I've had to cut it short. It's just, it's been a long day. So,
And actually, as you might know, our talks are planned several weeks in advance, and then Mike recently caught a cold, and I think that's why he's not feeling so well in comparison to a few weeks. So actually, we're really grateful